welcome to the Cinematic Web, a new segment here on the webinar seminar where I'm going to be reviewing the movies that you truly want to see. I'm Colin, your official movie theater correspondent here on the webinar seminar, and it's my job to let you know whether or not this week's movie is worth spending your hard-earned money on in the theater. But this week, we're going to be looking at David Ayer's A Working Man. This movie follows Jason Statham as a guy who goes into work every day and he gets a little fed up with his boss and decides to take matters into his own hands. No, I'm just kidding. This movie follows one Levin Cade, who leaves behind a decorated military career in Black Ops to live a simple life working construction. Now, human traffickers do kidnap his boss's daughter, and so he's forced to kind of use his old skills to try to bring her home. Meanwhile, he finds that the human traffickers work for the mafia, so it kind of gets interesting there. This movie was written by Sylvester Stallone, actually, and David Ayer. David Ayer directs it as well. Let's jump into the movie itself. So the action is pretty good. It's pretty brutal. I would say if you've seen a Jason Statham movie before, you've seen them all. But honestly, every time I watch one of his movies, I always leave afterwards finding it very entertaining. I think he has this role of just a man who doesn't want to go back into his old life of killing, but he's ultimately forced to, and he's the only one who can save the day. I think it just, for him, it works. I know some actors like The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans, they all kind of also play the same role in every movie. But for me, Jason Statham just does it better than all of them. I think he just knows exactly what he's going to do. And his performance, his acting, doing that was great. The plot is a little convoluted, in my opinion. It feels like it wants to be taken because he's trying to find the boss's daughter and save her from the human traffickers. But it also feels like John Wick a little bit as well because he decides to just start this all-out war on the mafia. And so that would be one complaint I have with the movie is it doesn't really know what it wants to be. And because of this, the movie just feels a little bit longer than it needs to be. In terms of the rating, I would give it probably 2.5 webs out of 5. I would honestly say wait for streaming. I mean, it's good if you want to watch a solid action movie and be entertained and not really have to think about it. But I don't know if I would pay $15 to go see it in theaters, honestly. If you want to watch a movie that also stars Jason Statham and is directed by David Ayer that came out a year ago, that I would say is better than this movie, would be The Beekeeper. Basically, it's him in the same role, and he just goes after a bunch of call center scammers, and it turns into this big conspiracy. But I felt like the plot of that movie was a lot more streamlined than this. So I would say, yeah, if you want to go watch an action movie that you don't really have to think about, go watch that. I would recommend that more. Thank you for tuning into this week's segment, and I'll turn it back to you boys over on the pod.